I'll go to Ms. Lesko, who has the Palo Verde nuclear power plant in her district. You're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yesterday, we had a hearing here we discussed grid reliability and all of the different concerns there are from different government organizations about grid reliability, and that we're retiring baseload energy plants too fast and replacing them with intermittent energy. And so I do believe nuclear is part of the solution. So I thank you for your work in making sure our nuclear plants are safe. My questions are for anyone that wants to weigh in. My first question says the NRC sends inspectors to the nuclear plants to inspect machinery and for safeguards. Nuclear plants like the one in Arizona have full-time government inspectors that stay on site. I have been told that in addition to these on-site inspectors, NRC sends out additional inspectors that the nuclear plants pay for, and that these inspectors may be duplicating some of the work that the on-site inspectors do. In addition, I've been told that during COVID, remote technology was used to conduct, sometimes used to conduct the inspections. And so my question is, do you think it would make sense to better utilize the on-site inspectors and use remote technology for some of the inspections?
Yeah, thank you, Congresswoman. We learned a lot during COVID about how to better use technology, and everything from laptops and iPads and this sort of thing to help conduct inspections. I hope that there's not a lot of duplication. I'll dive into that for you and be happy to get back to you about the duplication that our on-site resident inspectors are conducting and then our engineering inspectors. We recently made a change at the Commission to reduce the frequency of engineering inspections, actually from 3 years to 4 years, to kind of account for the reduced, I would say, kind of the reduced need to do a deep dive with some of these visiting inspectors that you mentioned.
Yes, Ms. Caputo.
Some of that virtual technology that resident inspectors were able to use was to conduct routine monitoring of plant parameters. And by, I think, making their time more efficient, it frees them up to pursue other activities that are more safety significant. So I believe there are probably opportunities to do some of that and upskill our resident inspectors so we rely less on regional inspectors and help our residents to cover more ground. So I think there's room for efficiency there. But yes, all of these inspections are paid by licensees.
Yeah. Anyone else? Yeah, Mr. Wright.
So this is an area that we really listen to our residents. So when I go into plants, and I know my colleagues do as well, we meet with them. And one of the questions that we ask them is, what is it that you're doing on site in your inspections that you think could be done better or done differently? Because because they are the boots on the ground, they need to be there. But they can also help us. We can't from the top. That's not where we should be doing it. It needs to bubble up from the bottom where the boots are on the ground. So.
Okay, great. Thank you. Oh, yes.
I would just add, I think a lot of the work that the resident inspectors do and then the regional inspection team is very complementary. The residents are there day to day, walking down the plant, ensuring the safety day to day. But then we have specialized teams, maybe cybersecurity or a particular type of engineering inspection. And those folks are real specialists in those areas. And that's why we deploy the teams as well. But one of the things we learned a couple things, I think, during the COVID period. One, the value of having boots on the ground and really seeing things firsthand. That there's, in-person inspection, the actual inspection part of looking at equipment was really better than remote. But there was stuff that we could do remotely. There's a certain amount of, it's not trivial, but like paperwork review, looking through the licensing documents ahead to prepare the inspectors before they go. That's stuff we don't have to have the folks there on site doing, and it saves time and money to have people do that back at headquarters. So I think there are lessons
I'm glad you're looking into this. I only have a few seconds left. The Nuclear Energy Institute has suggested the following addition to your mission statement. ensure that the regulation of nuclear activities is efficient and does not unnecessarily limit the potential of nuclear technology to maximize its contribution to the benefit of society. Do you agree with their recommendation? Anyone?
We have principles of good regulation, and efficiency is one of those, along with openness, reliability, independence, and clarity. And so every day we strive to live up to our principles of good regulation, and efficiency is a key one of those.
Yes, Mr. Wright.
I would just like to add, if we're going to start talking about putting it in policy, and we've got it in our principles of good regulation, then it ought to be in the other areas too, to be consistent.
Okay, thank you, and my time has run out. Thank you, and I yield back.